On today's expose, it's about time this woman got her time in the sun.
Right?
This is Danielle Moonstar. Oh my god, this girl, she's been on my radar for a while because she's pretty badass. She's kind of like the Storm of the New Mutants in that she's like a fighter, a lover. She's been through some shit. Like, she's pretty awesome. She was created by Chris Claremont and artist Bob McLeod. She first showed up in the New Mutants graphic novel in 1982, along with the other ones we know and love, like Cannonball and Wolfsbane and Sunspot.
Hey, I wonder if they're in this movie.
Hey, what is in this movie? She's gone by Psyche, Mirage, Moonstar, Spellbinder, Dark Raider. What's cool about Dani is her powers just started off as she can make like basically illusions of your biggest fear, which we see in this movie. But over time, and I think because writers were like, oh, that power is kind of boring, what else can you do with her?
It's hard to write.
Yeah. She now also has telepathy, danger sense. She can use a psionic bow and arrow, psionic bullets, psionic bolts. She's empathic with she has telepathy with animals, which is why her and Wolfsbane get along so well.
Oh.
Because even when Wolfsbane is an animal, Dani can still understand her thoughts. And then ability to create solid objects out of psionic energy. But wait, do you remember that time that Dani went to Asgard and became a fucking Valkyrie? So now she also has superhuman strength, speed, durability, stamina, and agility. She has a psionic link with her flying horse, Brightwind. Ability to sense impending death in others. So she basically sees like a skull, and depending on the size of the skull above your head, that's how soon your death is coming. Ability to repel death-based specters, energy projection, magic immunity, and she's a freaking weapons expert.
Jeez Louise.
No, her name is Dani. So yeah, and one thing that has been written into the comics that some people call queer-coded, I wonder why I bring this up now, is that Dani and Wolfsbane are soulmates. So in the comics, it's not anything romantic. They're just like, kind of like me and Rachel. Me and Rachel call each other soulmates. She's my bestest buddy. So yeah, we'll talk about that and some other things.
Cool.
I go where I wanna go. Jean.
Scott.
Jean?
Scott. I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get a
My name is Shawn. I'm the ultimate excavationist.
And I'm something of an X-fan myself, Kevin.
And welcome to Solving for X, where we break down the different X-Men media and talk about how it fits into the greater X-Men world and lore. This week, we're talking the New Mutants. Are you excited?
I am. I really am.
You know what I'm more excited for?
What?
Taking a break from doing the Fox movies because it is so much work to type out an hour and a half to 2 hour movie. Oh, I'm so glad.
It's going to be nice to go back to like 20-minute episodes.
Yeah. So much work.
Yeah.
But I'm happy we did it because it's been so fun going through each of these movies with you and just vomiting my thoughts on them into the microphone. So, yeah.
It's cool to have a place to like really talk about these movies and get our thoughts all out there and analyze, and that's part of the fun of entertainment. So yeah.
So before we get into New Mutants, let's talk last week's poll. We said okay.
Before you get into the poll, I want to talk about the Jean in Dark Phoenix. I was thinking about it, and I thought of something that could have fixed their problem. One of their problems. But you know how we talked about how like which is it movie? Is it the other persona or is it the cosmic force? I was thinking, what if as a child, Jean formed a telepathic link with the Phoenix that was up there, like the cosmic force. She formed a telepathic link with it, and it was somehow getting signals crossed or whatever throughout all this time. And then by the time she went up there, the Phoenix recognized this person as this person she had a link with and was drawn to her because they already have this relationship that's been established all this time. And that would have explained to both.
And that would also explain why the Phoenix manifested from her in Apocalypse. So it would just fix everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right.
So,
and they could have done like a quick flashback of the Phoenix like viewing Jean over time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
I know. Amazing. I'm like,
yeah.
See, if only they made that clear and made that make sense, it would have been amazing.
Yeah. So, and I misspelled her name too. Alan was making fun of me because there's a singer, Sophie Tucker, and I put who made the better Dark Phoenix, Famke Janssen or Sophie Tucker, but it was Sophie
on the
Turner.
Instagram?
Yeah.
I didn't
but
even
nobody
notice.
called me out. Yeah.
That's funny.
So, somebody wrote in, it was Legion Ivory, and he's like, who's the sad soul who voted for Sophie Turner? And I was like, it was me.
I saw that and I laughed.
But this was really hard for me because looking back, I think I would have picked Famke because she's a better actress, but also you're right. Like she had a little more story. Like we got to see her struggle with the Phoenix a little bit more, but it's hard because they're both great actresses. They're just written so bad as the Dark Phoenix.
Right.
So it's hard to decide. But, we also had Amanda Martini wrote in and said Catherine Disher, the original voice of Jean from the show.
That was funny.
And she's not wrong.
Right.
But that wasn't an option, Amanda. So Sophie Turner got 16% of the votes and Famke got 84%. Oh, I just realized I spelled Famke wrong too. I was not on it last Friday morning. I put Famke Janssen.
Wanna Famke? Don't you wanna?
Yeah. Well, it's because I'm such a fan of her. I'm such a Famke of her. All right. So thank you for everybody who participated in that. So New Mutants, it was released August 28th, 2020, written by Josh Boone and Nate Lee, directed by Josh Boone. It was budgeted at around 67 to 80 million, and the box office only brought in 49.2. To be fair, though, it was in the middle of COVID.
2020. Yeah.
So my memory of this is all the theaters around me in Orange County, LA area were still closed. So Alan, Anthony, and I jumped into my car and drove to San Diego just so we could watch this movie because that's how much I wanted to see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think my memories of it. I remember, because it's learning about the history of this because they had that one trailer and those posters of those creepy the heads coming out of the those weird faceless fabric heads and hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then they released the trailer because this is right after the success of It and Stephen King and everything, which there was some influence there, but they decided to make this very horror-heavy, very looking kind of movie, which intrigued everybody. But then that was because of the It craze. And then Josh is like, but that's not the movie I made. Like there's elements in there, but I didn't make wasn't like a pure horror like this trailer thing. So then they wanted to do reshoots to make it even scarier than it was. But by the time they were going to do that, it was already like 2 years after they were filmed the first time. So the actors aged, so it just wouldn't work.
Oh no.
So, but it's a whole adventure. It was delayed like 5 times, like 3 years after it was supposed to come out.
I remember even hearing as part of the reshoots that they were adding a character to it. So a lot of people thought they were going to, including me, I had a theory that this was going to be a jumping off for these characters being in the MCU. I thought they were going to put like an MCU actor into the end, but then it turned out they didn't add anyone into the end. So
right, and the acquisition of that was going on with Marvel and everything is another part of the delay because they've made this movie before all that, and then they had the acquisition, and it's like, okay, now what? And they want to. I remember if you look too, when we get to this, but like they removed the Fox from the 20th century. They didn't want any Fox in there, and they put in association with Marvel, even though they had nothing to do with this movie.
Yep.
So, yeah, funny.
Yeah. So I remember too, this movie I heard before I saw it, it was getting a very bad rap. Everybody was like, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. So that's part of why I was like, I just need to see it. I just need to make my own opinion. And I'm glad I did. So I'll say right now, before I say whether I like it or hate it or how I feel about it, I think some things really work in this movie and I think some things really don't. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you know? Sorry, I'm like, did you know that? Well, I'll say. Never mind. I'll save it for the end.
I hate you.
I know. I'm gonna copy my note and paste it in the bottom of the page.
Okay. We start with a voiceover about a Native American proverb where two bears are inside each of us. One fighting for good and one for evil. Cut to a small Native American town that is being attacked. So this is Cheyenne. Danny is a Cheyenne Native American. A father rushes his daughter Danny to safety. He leaves her at a tree and goes back to help. Danny sees her father's body get thrown down in front of her. Then she desperately flees from the bear until she falls and is knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Danny wakes up in a facility, handcuffed to a bed. She goes from this creepy bear thing, creepy tornado thing. Spoiler. And knocks out. And then she wakes up with another creepy thing looking at her from the vent. Like, terrifying. Like, why is this thing looking at me with yellow eyes or whatever? Anyway, but someone knocks from the vent above her, and then they bounce. Goodbye. Danny drags her bag around the room because she's handcuffed. She's like, let me out of here. Let me walk to the door with my bag. And tries to find a means of escape. And then we hear Dr. Cecilia Reyes tell Danny to calm the fuck down. Cecilia enters the room to speak with Danny. Cecilia tells Danny that her village was ravaged by a tornado and no one survived. Dr. Reyes assures Danny it was a tornado and not a bear.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I have a little bit of mixed feelings about this. So we talked about this on a previous episode, but Dr. Cecilia Reyes was Black in the original comics, and she was of Hispanic descent. So, like, I think she was Puerto Rican, if I remember right.
Puerto Rican.
So, yeah, the fact that they changed her to not be Black, I feel like it was their way of being like, Americans are too stupid to see a Black person with an accent. So we must make her that heritage. You know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting because she's like Puerto Rican parents and she's Black or whatever. But yeah, I guess. But it's interesting because who's the actress who plays her in this?
I forget her name. I will find it for you because I have love for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Alice Braga.
Aha. Okay. So yeah, I always had weird feelings about that because I knew she didn't look like any of the drawings I've seen of the character. The guy that you mentioned before, McLeod, is his face McLeod. He accused the movie of whitewashing, which I'm like, but I don't know if that's true either because she is, she's not white. She is an ethnic person. She is a minority person. But I think it's just, interesting enough, they did have someone else play her originally. They had Rosario Dawson who was supposed to play her originally.
Oh, that would have been, I'm glad she didn't because Rosario's gone on to be other roles and this movie wasn't good enough for her.
I mean, she's so fantastic. But Rosario Dawson would have knocked it out of the park for sure in this movie. Yeah. And she would have fit the bill more appropriately, I think. But I'm not gonna accuse the movie of trying to whitewash or whatever. I think it just happens to be who they got to replace Rosario Dawson and I don't know, Puerto Rican. Just like maybe they weren't looking at all the specs.
Yeah, no, I'm happy they didn't put a white person in the role, so I'm not going to say whitewashing, but it's always touchy when you change the original race of a character.
Right. But then again, like we do it all the time in the opposite direction, and we're fine with it.
True.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see the name of the hospital that they're at?
No.
It's Millbury Hospital.
Oh.
So that could stand for Nathan Millbury, which is another sinister.
Yes.
So
naughty.
All right.
Later that night, Danny sits down with Cecilia and Danny shares her survivor's guilt. Cecilia tells Danny she is special. The reason she survived the tornado is because she's a mutant. Dr. Reyes takes Danny on a tour of the school. Danny is led to her room where she is told to rest. Cecilia leaves Danny alone in the room. And she finds Rusty lurking in the corner.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Dun.
The next day, Dr. Reyes leads a group discussion about when the group's mutant powers first manifested. She is in a group circle with Rain, Sam, Roberto, and Ileana. Just then, Danny walks in and joins the group. Rain starts talking about her power manifesting at age 13. She can turn into a werewolf form. She talks about changing into her wolf form in front of her reverend and him beating her up and telling her she's evil. Witch! Witch! The team begins goading Danny. Cecilia pshaws them and orders Ileana to show Danny around.
Oh, that's a good choice. You chose her out of everybody.
Yeah.
And we have kind of a cameo. We have Lockheed, but he's like a hand puppet.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
Yeah, for now.
So how do we feel about this with Lockheed being a hand puppet?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's fine for this context because I feel like it's a security blanket, and I think they're isolated, and it's probably when she goes to limbo where he comes to life, So I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I think I remember not liking it until we kind of see like, oh, he can come to life with her powers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I also have a theory. I feel like it would have been explored had these movies continued, which we'll talk more about later, but I feel, and they kind of talk about it, I'll point it out when they kind of talk about it. I think Ileana is such a brat because it's referencing the fact that she was lost in limbo for most of her childhood. So that's why she's acting like this little child to everybody.
Yeah, there could be a lot of reasons for it, and that's a great theory. I like that. Because when you first meet her, you don't like her. She's a bitch, and it's like just like seems rude for no reason. Like, get over yourself, girl. But this movie does a good job of like, revealing things and making her more relatable and opening her up and seeing her history. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. I'll talk about this now since you mentioned it. I feel like the thing that this movie really gets right, with some minor hiccups here and there, is our 5 mutants, the New Mutants, are pretty spot on, like with their history, their powers, like they're pretty well done. They're
perfectly cast. Oh my gosh. They're great. Well,
I'm going to be a little bit of a bitch. I wish Sam was cuter.
Yeah, I can see that.
But he's a good actor for the role, though.
Yeah.
But I think it's because he has his like long emo hair. Like when he doesn't have that hair, like he looks better. I wish he had cut his hair for this movie.
Yeah, and I feel like Sam normally does wear his hair short. He's kind of like a Boy Scout. Like, I grew up on the farm and I'm a cowboy. But,
Yeah.
he's like
He
a
usually
clean
has
cut
that
kind of
like
guy.
flat top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
So,
oh well.
oh well.
On their tour, Ileana starts talking to Lockheed, her stuffed animal puppet. They both agree that they hate Danny. What a bitch. Ileana calls for Dr. Reyes to electronically open the front door. The two teens go out into the school grounds. Ileana begins spray painting on an old fountain. Danny notices there is no fence. Ileana watches and laughs as Danny runs to make her escape, but runs into an invisible force field and falls back. Danny goes to attack Ileana, but she ports away.
Yeah, she's like, there's nothing to stop you. Yeah, you can just run free. Go,
Just
little
run
girl,
free.
run.
What
Run
a
faster.
brat.
Run faster, bitch. I wanted to say- I was like,
That
oh
was
my
so
God.
mean of her.
It was so mean of her.
And I noticed, like, when Danny first hits the force field, she has kind of a bloody nose. And then in
Yeah.
the next scene, there's no blood. And then in the next scene, there's a little bit of blood again. So, okay, continuity. I
Yeah.
saw you.
But it's interesting because you see like Rain come out and turn into the dog, and she's like, I'm gonna warn her, even though you completely failed. But
Yeah, I was wondering what that was about.
What's
She
the
did
point? Why are
nothing.
you, yeah, what are you doing?
I will run with you, but I will stop in time.
Too funny. All right. Danny hears the bell toll as the southern bell tolls, and has a flashback of her dad leaving her to help with the other villagers. Danny goes up to the clock tower and starts destroying it. She has the intention of jumping to her death. What is it? Power Rangers, jump to our doom, whatever. She goes to take a step off the ledge, but Rain interrupts her. Rain convinces Danny not to jump and helps her down from the ledge. The two fall into the bell tower together and share a moment.
Oh, a moment. Oh, give me a moment. But a moment.
Yes. Where I come from, when you commit suicide, you go to hell, just so you know. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, just so you know, if you did that, you would have been burned forever.
Because I'm
You want a cookie?
religious. Yeah.
Yeah. Put that in your back pocket. All right. Is it pronounced Rane, Kevin? Rane?
Stop.
Okay. As Rain and Danny leave the chapel. Rain Sinclair, Rane. As Rain and Danny leave the chapel together, Dr. Reyes finds them and scolds them. The two girls watch as Sam practices his power. Later that night at dinner, Rain tells Danny about the group. Sam was brought up in the coal mines where his father died. Roberto comes from a rich family in Brazil. His parents sent him to the school to be cured. Rain thanks Danny for spending the day with her. Rain leaves Danny in her room. So, here's my first
Really a
problem.
school? Like,
Not really, I know.
No.
What else do you call it, though? Facility?
facility, a hospital. I don't know. What,
Okay.
Like, what is the point that she says? Like, you're here to control your powers? Like, what actually is this? She's like, I'm a doctor. I'm the only staff member in this whole place.
Yeah. I mean, she
But-
is teaching them at the same time, though. So I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's
Facility.
It's I would think it's kind of like a retreat of sorts. I don't know.
My first major
Therapy?
problem here, I don't like that Sam is not invulnerable when he's using his power.
Oh yeah, because she's like, he's trying to hurt himself or whatever.
Yeah, like he apparently is purposely hurting himself, which is fine. It's very emo, but like, I don't know, at the speed in which he like hits the ground while using his power, I feel like that would kill him. So
Right.
I feel like he needs to
Defeats the
be
purpose.
invulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like later they show him like just use his hand as the power and punch himself. Like that makes sense. All right, your
Mhm.
whole body wasn't encompassed in your power,
Right.
but I don't like this whole not invulnerable
Yeah.
thing.
I feel I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Later that night, we see Dr. Reyes spying on everyone with the cameras.
Ah.
The girls are all asleep as Roberto and Sam are hanging out in the laundry room. They talk about their pasts together, and he's like, I throw away my shirts when they get dirty. You want my shirt?
Yeah, that was weird as he's
He's
doing
like,
laundry.
You're like, yeah, thanks. I love this. I'm like, okay. I'm going to smell it at night. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you want to suck my cock too? Because that's dirty.
Right. Yeah. I haven't showered yet. Come with me. All right. Dr. Reyes focuses on Danny. She is having a nightmare about her past. Suddenly, all of the lights go out. Roberto turns them back on and leaves because I can see in the dark, I guess, because I am so hot. I glow. Leave Sam alone. Sam hears something in the dryer. A loud something. He suddenly goes in to investigate. Just then the lights go out and Sam is back in the mining tunnels. Everyone stops and begins focusing on him as Sam watches his dad mine. Suddenly the miners attack. Well, he's mining the wall that's full of blood, which is okay.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but yeah, blood. And then he's like, and then the dad turns around and is like, what did you do or whatever? And then this minor attack. It's very, creepy. And they attack Sam, and in reality, Sam activates his power and blasts away from the dryer. Cecilia is perturbed by Danny's psionic levels elevating.
So do you remember in the original trailers, when Sam goes to the dryer, Roberto was like in the dryer. Like we saw Roberto burning and he puts his hand on the dryer.
Oh, that's right. I knew there was a hand. I'm like, I remember a hand. I don't remember what kind of hand, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I wonder if like originally like Roberto blasts Sam away, because it was weird that he used his power, but I don't know. I'm glad that scene wasn't in there, because why would Roberto be in the dryer?
Yeah.
But in their conversation, I feel like they do mention that. They're like, can you imagine being in one of those or something like that? And they were talking about the dryers. So I think that was the setup to like have one of them fearfully like be in there.
Oh my gosh. You know what's crazy? Segue a little bit. There's a video of my sister, Sarah, when she was in high school. There's a video of her going into the dryer, like literally like squeezing her whole body into the dryer. Her friend had closing the dryer on her, and she's like this. And like putting her like, oh my God, it's weird watching her do it.
That's weird. Why would she do that?
I don't know. She was a tiny little girl doing weird, crazy things. And in the video, she's like, okay.
And she still is.
Yeah. She's like, can you do this? And then, but I remember she's like, it's scary in here. I'm coming out.
Yeah.
But it was weird. So there you go.
There you go.
Show to you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The next day, Danny goes to hit the showers. Ileana shoulder checks her on the way in. Danny goes to shower next to Rain. Oh, Rain. Oh, I want to shower next to you and see your naked body. She notices the W on Rain's shoulder. Rain seems reluctant to talk about it and she leaves. Next, we focus on Sam, who is struggling after what he saw the previous night.
Yeah. I put, group showers. Sexy.
Yes, sexy.
My gym has group showers like that.
Oh, yes.
I know.
Just make sure that Freddy Krueger doesn't come back alive through anybody while you're showering next to them.
Right. Which,
It'll
by
be
the way,
a gay movie.
Yeah. And Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was apparently a big inspiration for this movie.
Oh. That makes sense. Because, they're all in a facility.
And The Shining, and yeah.
Interesting. I don't see The Shining in it, though.
No, but... And Breakfast Club was another one.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
It's supposed to be like The Breakfast Club meets some horror movie. All right. 10. So, Dr. Reyes leads the group through a yoga session. Breathe. What'd you say? Control.
I guess meditation. It's not really yoga.
It's not
more
yoga.
meditation.
Yeah, more meditation because yoga would be involved stretching and things.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is taking it seriously except Ileana, who is flat out not participating, and Roberta, who just wants to look at the girls. Later in the day, the group sits around in the common room. Rain is watching Buffy and watching the lesbians kiss Cerrone. Ooh, it's just probably rewinding it over and over and over. It's like, oh my gosh. Enter Danny. Ileana begins being racist again to Danny. Oh my God. She's like, you thought Pocahontas was bad? Here's this other one that she says something about a place. I forget what she says. Danny tells Ileana that she knows about bitches like Ileana. Ileana starts beating on Danny and pushing her to use her powers. What's your power? Ileana activates her Eldritch armor and summons her soul sword. Technical terms, She is about to attack Danny when Cecilia makes a shield of force field to protect Danny. She leads the girls to their rooms and locks them in. She's like, solitary, both of you.
Yep. So I have a theory. We'll talk about it later too, but this isn't just any Buffy scene. This is from season 6 when Willow is struggling with controlling her powers. That sounds strangely familiar to this movie. Yeah, and it also kind of foreshadows, like you said, the lesbian kiss. So this was very intentional.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'm still a little bitter that Buffy is everywhere. Like, I'm so mad. Like, Charmed got no love. Because, like, this is Buffy. We're going to get to X-Men Evolution that, again, references Buffy. I'm like, stupid Buffy getting everything.
Don't hate Buffy because it's better than Charmed. Like, it's just better. It deserves more.
I think, it's just more, I don't know. It's so referenced everywhere all the time.
No, I know. Yeah, because I feel like Buffy was like very original for the type of show it was. So a lot of people just like saw Charmed as like something similar, something familiar, even though it's very different. So I think that's why Buffy kind of gets the more of the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Charmed is the stepchild. It's fine. I'm the red-haired stepchild.
Well, plus Buffy's better, so that's fine.
Whatever. I still have to finish it. It's fine. Okay, whatever.
That's fine. No, and actually I gave you my very real, very like opinion of Buffy and Charmed. I think Charmed plays it relatively safer. So I think it's like overall like a more like balanced show, whereas Buffy took some chances for better or worse. So you've got like the really bad season 4, but you've got like the really good season 6, whereas all of Charmed is generally pretty good. You know what I mean?
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
It took risks more.
Yeah. All right. Danny listens in on Ileana speaking to Lockheed in the cell next door. Ileana has a flashback to her youth in Russia. She remembers people in masks sniffing about her as she lay in bed. Oh, what a typical child. And Danny wakes up in her own nightmare. Dr. Reyes gets an alert from Danny's room before the cameras go out. Danny watches as a black cloud descends from the sky. It grows red burning eyes in the form of a bear and attacks her. Dr. Reyes enters Danny's cell and finds her bloodied. What the fuck happened?
Oh. So I have a question about like this whole like going to solitary thing. How is that different than any other night if they have their own rooms anyway?
I don't get that either because, this is like, what's the point? Like, they're still alone. They're still locked in.
It's like they already have their own locked-in rooms. That doesn't make any sense. And this is like more like deeper confined. Like there's no room, somebody across from you. I don't know. And then go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I guess like it does show some of the students out of their cells at night later. So I wonder if like this just means they're locked in and can't get out.
Gotcha. Cool. And then you could argue that like, couldn't magic just teleport out?
That's one of my problems with this movie. Yeah, she should be able to teleport out of the force field. She should be able to teleport wherever she wants in the facilita. Like,
oh yeah, she could teleport more than
Because there's a scene where Dr. Reyes is dragging her to the cell, and I'm like, magic is so much stronger than Dr. Reyes. She could just teleport away.
See, but I have a thought. I think she was kind of a bitch on purpose because she wanted to go to solitary because in her own way she felt safer there.
That makes sense.
Because, maybe somehow where she's just in and about, she feels like her demons or whatever are more like active, whereas like when she's in the pure quietness of it all, it's easier to feel like she's, safe and alone,
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. Dr. Reyes Green instructs her to test Denny further to determine her power. Cecilia starts to take Denny's blood sample. Cecilia starts to bond with Denny over their pasts. She compares mutants to baby rattlesnakes, young and out of control with no understanding of their powers. And actually, the baby rattlesnakes are much more dangerous than the grown-up ones because they don't know how to control their venom and they just overdo, which is an interesting kind of metaphor because we've seen, not just in this movie, but in other X-Men medias, whenever the powers manifest, they end up hurting somebody they love or somebody in the room. Watch out for these new baby mutants.
Yeah, they don't know what to expect, so they don't know how their power will manifest, and it always hurts someone.
And interesting that everybody in this facility has killed someone with their powers. Like, oh, you'd be a great killer. You'd be a great killer. Ooh, murderer. Weapon.
You got the taste of it. Let's continue.
Right.
Later that day, Rain goes to the chapel by herself. She goes to the confessional and begins to confess. Back in the infirmary, Dr. Reyes tells Danny, who's her superior, runs a school for gifted youngsters. A place Danny can move once she can control her powers. Meanwhile, Rain continues to confess her sins. Rain hears noises from inside the chapel, but it's empty. Someone enters the confessional and yells at her, "Witch!" Rain goes running from the church.
Ugh. See, I don't like that either. This creepy voice.
Yeah, it is creepy.
Yeah.
Do you think Cecilia's doing this on purpose? Because she said a school for gifted youngsters. So she knows, like, they're obviously going to be like, oh, Xavier's. So she's not lying to them, but she's lying to them.
Oh, yeah. And the movie intentionally tries to do this. I don't know if she says the exact school for gifted youngsters, but she definitely used the word gifted. And yeah, it's supposed to both trick the students and I think the audience into thinking, oh yeah, we're moving on to the X. Because they even say, we're going to be X-Men, don't you think? Have you heard of the X-Men? Yes. Oh, I'm going to do this with I'm Roberto. I'm like, ooh, this where we're going. I'm being Professor Xavier. Yeah. So yeah, they try to instill that in you. Leave that hope. Even though when she says superior facility, that just rubs me the wrong way. I'm like superior. It seems like you're being vague on purpose. I don't like it. It seems like about control to me, but
yeah, I remember thinking something's not right here, but I thought they were intentionally making Cecilia Reyes seem bad when she was actually good until a certain scene. Then I was like, nope, Xavier would never do that.
Yeah, right. Okay, 14. Danny goes to find Rain. Rain seems hesitant to go out. Just then, Sam, Berto, and Ileana are passing by. They're on their way to the attic, the only place Reyes can't watch them while they're in the bathroom, in the showers.
True.
Rain and Ileana go to join them. Up there, they begin playing with a lie detector. The group starts asking Danny about her necklace with a bear charm. Danny tells them about the legend of the demon bear. The bear starts tiny and weak when you are born. As you grow older, so does the bear, and it grows stronger. Danny's dad made her the bear necklace to remind her of how small her bear once was. Ileana is next up on the lie detector, and she admits to killing 18 men. Cecilia watches from the cameras. She definitely has up there.
Oops. I really like this idea of the bear. I think it's interesting. It actually kind of reminds me of his Dark Materials, the book series and the show. Because in that, they have a demon, which is an animal that can change forms, and it can talk to the kid. And it's like very faux pas, like you do not touch somebody else's demons. That's their private thing, you know?
Yeah.
And in that, like, once you start to mature, your demon takes on a form because you're figuring out who you are. So I like this idea of the bear. And, like, yeah, the older we get, the more temptation there is to sin because we have more education and knowledge. There's more temptations out there. So we have to, like, temper our bear and make sure it doesn't grow too big, which is a cool metaphor.
Yeah. And it's funny. How come nobody, because we've had a few outdoor scenes right now outside of the facility. How come nobody questions these numbered gravestones? Like,
yeah,
what are those? Like, are those graves of mutants past? Like,
yeah, I thought of that too. It's very odd. Like, I feel like we need more explanation as to what this place is and why they're all just like, yeah, that's normal. There'd be a graveyard on a facility yard or schoolyard or whatever it is.
And nobody's names. It's like, this is 128. This is, I'm like, oh, so just mutants that you had killed or died in whatever.
No,
like
sir.
Stole the blood samples and killed them, just like some other things that might happen later.
Yeah. And it's weird to me too. Cecilia's not that powerful. Like, they all have powers. They can walk around at night. They could easily like take her out, trap her. Ileana could send her to limbo. Like, yeah, there needed to be something different here.
You know, you'd think maybe if there was a staff of other mutant doctors and you know, people in on it, but the fact that she's by herself seems kind of unrealistic. I mean, it adds to the creep factor, the eerie vibes. It's such a small cast, but it doesn't feel, I don't know, realistic.
Yeah, they should have put on like dampening collars maybe during the day or something to control them during the day, and then like have controlled sessions where they can use their power somehow.
Well, they had like when Danny first came, she had that bracelet on. I thought maybe that was like almost
that's true,
a power dampening bracelet, but we don't know for sure. And they're not wearing it all the time, you know. So
true. Yeah, I think the biggest problem is magic. Like, you can't contain magic. She has teleporting abilities. There needed to be some explanation as to like her telling someone like, I can't teleport outside this force field. You know, something to establish that.
Yeah. She's like, bye, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Anytime I want.
The next day, Cecilia talks about obedience in their next group meeting. Sam shares that he doesn't want to go to Cecilia's boss's facility. He just wants to get better and go home. Sam shares that he started seeing things. He gets frustrated with Dr. Reyes and bounces.
Right. She's like, I want you to get better. She never mentions go home at all. Like, get better. Okay. Yeah. What does that mean, though? Thanks.
Yeah. Can you elaborate?
Like, what's wrong with me? Like, the students... Oh, that night, the students decide to get into trouble. Ileana has spiked Cecilia's tea and left her sleeping. The students run amok of the school. They dance, Breakfast Club style. Ooh, tambourines. Ooh. Getting some snacks out from somewhere. Ileana even goes as far as mocking Cecilia. The students start to discuss who they think Cecilia's superior is. Yeah, sometimes we call her Cecilia, sometimes we call her Dr. Reyes because we like to mix it up. And they decide it's Xavier, that they're recruited to be the X-Men. Oh yeah, this is where he does his Xavier impression. Yeah.
Yeah. So here I have problems again. So is this easy to knock Cecilia out? But also, how come her force field doesn't go away when she's knocked out? Like, she's not conscious.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how they're linked. Does she can she do like a perma force field ever?
Well, I think to me, I feel like they are hinting that the force field is from her, like it's her power.
Oh yeah, that's what I got. I mean, it looks exactly like her force field she does, and it goes away when other things happen. So I get that part, but like, what constitutes it? Like, does she have to like be like asleep, or does she have to be like taken out for them to go out? I don't know.
I feel like usually you have to be conscious for your power to work.
Yeah, actively like doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's part of her subset in this.
Yeah, or it's not like, once you create a force field, it stays. I don't know. I don't know. Her powers.
That could be it. It's true. Rain and Danny split off from the group. Rain has a surprise for Danny. It's my vagina. They go crawling through the vents. While they are crawling through the vents, Sam relives his traumatic day of his dad's death with Berto. He admits to being responsible for the death of his dad and his dad's crew. Sam asks Berto about his past, but Berto wheels away. Meanwhile, Rain and Danny take the vents and find themselves outside. Rain takes Danny to the graveyard. Normal thing to be here. Rain shows Danny how the shield lights up in the rain. Danny shares her belief with Rain that our bodies are just temporary beautiful cages housing our souls. I think that's pretty but dangerous at the same time.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, I'm trapped in my body. I should go be free. Bye. Like, yeah.
That's also something that Heaven's Gate believed in, and we saw how that turned out.
All right. Meanwhile, Berto is inside looking at a pic of him and his dead girlfriend. Like your dead girlfriend. He hears singing and goes to investigate. He finds Ileana swimming in the pool. Hey, I'm swimming in the pool. Oh. Berto strips down and gets in the pool with Ileana. Every time Berto is hot in this movie.
Yes.
Like literally, he's on fire. Oh, yeah. But he's fun to look at. Anyway, the storm rages on outside as Danny and Rain continue to connect. I can't help it. Danny is thankful for Rain's niceness. You're so nice. Did I make you up? Are you a dream? No, I'm real. I love you. I was like, have you ever done this before? With a girl? Not with anybody. The two kiss. When the two ladies kiss, Berto and Ileana start to get it on in the pool. They kiss too, but I'm starting to overheat. Oh, I'm getting so hot in here. So take off all your clothes. Oh, wait, they're already off. Oh, the water starts to heat up, and Berto pulls away. He reveals his power to Ileana and tells her about how he accidentally killed his girlfriend. Oh, and then she's like, "Oh, that's fine. You can kiss me. I'm much more powerful than her."
Yeah, I'm like part demon, so I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I have very mixed emotions here. I've been thinking about this all day because Danny and Rain. Let's talk about Danny and Rain.
Okay.
So I told you in the comics, it's like kind of hinted like they're soulmates, but it's never like physical. So I like that they're together in the movie. Like, I think it's sweet. I think they have good chemistry, but at the same time, I feel like it's out of Rain's character. Because especially like in the comics, Rain is very homophobic. Like, she literally attacks Shatterstar when he comes back because he's queer. So having this character who is so religious, and not to say like you can't be religious and queer, because I know a lot of people who are, including Alan, but when you look at her priest or preacher and how religious he was, like he literally beat her. Like that's really intensely like conservative. So the fact that she's so open to a queer relationship, it kind of like doesn't gel with me.
See, I feel like the Rain in this movie, I feel like she was raised with a very intense religious background, but I feel like she's starting to come to terms with maybe religion isn't all it's cracked up to be because of the way it hurt her. And maybe she, maybe she's always had these feelings, but she was afraid to acknowledge them. She was probably afraid to address any sexual attraction at all, which is why she's like with anybody, because that was for her. Sex was something that you had to, probably wait for and, be pure and everything. So the fact that she was hurt so badly by religion, which she was so devoted to, she's maybe trying to experiment and go past that and I don't know, go against it in a way, kind of as a retaliation.
I can see that, and especially she shut herself down from any relationship because all premarital stuff is evil, and now you have someone interested in you. So I could see that.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, at least I don't. I mean, the Rain in the comic books, I think probably wouldn't, because you say she's homophobic and rude and physically attacking people, right? But the Rain in this movie, I think, it's a different path.
It is kind of funny because after M Day, Rain lost her powers. So if anybody doesn't know, M Day is when Scarlet Witch stopped a lot of mutants from being mutants. It was very controversial. So Rain lost her powers in M Day, and then she started becoming a very different person. She started riding a motorcycle. She grew her hair out. She was getting away from that religious Rain she was. But then the next time we see her is in X Factor Investigations by Peter David. And he's one of the ones who wrote her back in the 90s. So he had her shave her hair off and she started getting religious again. So I feel like the comics got close to Rain, getting to the Rain she is in the movie, and then pulled back.
Yeah. Funny.
It all depends on the writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. In her office, Dr. Reyes watches Birdo talking to Ileana. She sees Ileana is safely in her room. The faux Ileana comes up out of the water as a flaming corpse. The alarms in the facility go off and everyone rushes to see what the commotion is. Everyone rushes into the pool area to find Birdo on fire. Reyes pushes him into the pool to cool him off. You are so hot, son. You are so hot. You are really hot.
Yeah. It's so funny how half the pool evaporated when he went in there. I'm like, geez.
Yeah.
All that water is gone.
He's that hot.
Yeah. Oh. Take it off, which you do a lot.
Yeah. Which, okay. Let's talk about this real quick. I think it's funny. I don't know about you. I didn't really hear much about Roberto not having an accent in this movie. But the fact that people are coming for Guy, who voices him in the show, who has an
natural accent, right?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so what is it? Do you guys want the accent or not? Because when somebody has it, you attack him for not doing it right, quote unquote. Fuck you all.
Right. And I thought he sounded so. I mean, he might not have had the full accent. It was more American, but he sounded a lot like Guy to me. He sounded a lot like Sunspot, which is like, oh, how fun. So
yeah, sure.
Just with the tone of it all. Like, all right.
Uh-huh. All right.
All right, 20. After getting dressed, Berto steals Cecilia's phone and tries to get out of the facility. The phone is locked, though. Ileana threatens Reyes. Reyes verifies Ileana was not in the pool. After Ileana stands up to Cecilia, she traps Ileana in her cell and locks her in.
So this is the point where I'm like, Ileana could have gotten out of her grip. She could have gotten away. She could have cut off her damn hand if she wanted to.
Right. Yeah.
But you're right. It does make a little more sense of she does seem like the type who, if we go back to my theory and mix it with your theory, if she is trapped in a younger girl's mindset because she was lost in limbo, then adults scare her. And I could see her cowing to Reyes as the adult and even on some level being okay with it because she knows she's a danger to others.
Right. And she acts out because she knows that if she's punished, so to speak, it's actually it's better for her. She actually likes it. So
okay, making it work for me.
Yeah.
The next day, Cecilia starts to experiment on Danny. She injects Danny with a sedative and starts recording her. Cecilia starts asking Danny questions about her past. Danny starts seeing a facility where mutant children are experimented on and beaten. So this actually kind of goes back to Deadpool there, I think. Too. Yeah, probably.
Logan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
she was created by Essex. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is footage from Logan. This is literally the tape.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, it's the exact same footage from Logan.
Wow.
Yeah, because you can see X-23 actress is in there. This is the one that they watched on the phone that the lady that was pretending to be your mom filmed, and she's like, "Look at this bit." Yeah, so it's literally Logan stuff, and then you see the mutants using the powers and things, and so.
So that would mean the New Mutants takes place like way, way in the future?
Or she almost had like a vision of the future. I feel like, okay, based on this footage, I believe that, because they never really told you where New Mutants takes place. Originally, the original script had it take place in the 80s, but how awful Apocalypse was, they decided to scrap that idea, and then they put it in some undisclosed time. I believe it takes place after the Days of Future Past renew timeline. So after that updated timeline, and like maybe a year or two before Logan is when this would take place. So mutants, because everyone knows about mutants, it seems like everyone knows about X-Men. But this is right before mutants start to be wiped out. We believe that this facility where they are genetically creating mutants based off of other mutants' DNA, they were going to send them there to be killers, so they're almost... So some of them are genetically making, some of them there must be sending them to train, but that's where the thought was that they're going to go there where the Logan people were to become...
Okay.
Yeah, become murderers and become tools for the government.
Yeah, that makes more sense. And yeah, because in the comics, it was eventually revealed that Sinister had like a hand in the Weapon X projects, so it makes sense that like this is the way we're going in the movies.
Yeah, and even in the end of in Logan somewhere too that had some kind of Essex connection. They had a connection in Logan and in Deadpool too. So all of these movies were supposed to be linked.
Yeah, some people said that it was a shame that Marvel finally bought Fox when they did, because they felt like Fox was starting to make these movies right in like interconnecting them, and they were starting to make better movies, and then they got
the timing of it all.
Yeah.
Illyana is in her cell playing with Lockheed when the door starts to open. Illyana goes to investigate, but finds no one there. She sees someone has drawn one of the smiley people from her past. In the shower, Rain hears a noise and goes to investigate. She finds the priest she had killed. She's like, "You're dead. I killed you. I got scratched." And he looks terrifying. He throws her down and begins to brand her. And this is like shortly after, she just brought attention to it in the shower with the W, and then she gets another one. So sad.
Yeah.
Sam and Berto hear Rain screams and go to help her. Cecilia and Danny join them. They find Rain in her wolf form with a fresh W mark. I saw something where they said, like, is it a W or is it an M for mutant? I'm like, it's W. It could be witch or werewolf or both, But I think it's more like, you are a mutant, you're evil magic, you're a witch. That's how I read it.
Yeah.
That's what you call it.
And I like that it is kind of ambiguous, because this one's like down, so it looks more like an M. So it could be mutant, but the other one's definitely a W. So is that witch or werewolf?
Yeah. Illyana comes in and reveals that this is all Danny's fault. This is her power affecting them. Illyana opens a portal to Limbo and threatens to throw Danny into it. Danny's face turns into the smiley man and throws Illyana off, and she screams, and Cecilia sedates Illyana.
Illyana is alone in her room coloring. Danny comes in to join her, and it's weird because like the crayons are like moving like back and forth, almost like magic's doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She asks Illyana where her portal goes. Illyana reveals that it's Limbo. Mixed feelings on this. A place her and Lockheed made up. Danny brings Lockheed back to Ileana. The two girls begin to bond. Ileana tells Danny about how she made up Limbo as a place to escape to. Danny asked Illy about the vision she saw of the smiley people. So, like, as someone who doesn't believe in heaven and hell, having Limbo be made up is an interesting concept to me because I don't believe that it exists, but it very much exists in X-Men. So having it be something she made up is a little like weird to me, but it's also like, I feel like a later movie would have told us more. Like, did she make it up or did she happen across it and think she made it up?
Right. You know, because we do know, especially with the MCU too, we know there's all these different universes, and Doctor Strange is going in there, Scarlet Witch is going in there. There's all these like limbo areas, and so I feel like she probably teleported, and she's like, oh, all right, maybe she dreamed it, and she's like, oh, I'm in my dream. So I can see that totally being something that really exists, and she just thought it was from her.
Yeah, I'd like that better because I really do think that heaven and hell, especially hell, has been used so much in Marvel that like it needs to have its place in Marvel.
Yeah. But here I think, I mean, we kind of got the vibes before, but here's where you clearly see the picture and everything. I don't know if they don't explicitly tell you, but magic was sold into sex slavery is the whole thing we're getting at as a child.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah. So all these smiley people, she was abused, like sexually abused by all these men, these Russian men. That's why, and she doesn't know that they show up as like these faceless things because she didn't see their faces. All she saw was the smile and the pain. And you notice all of them have like these Russian tattoos. So she saw their chest and everything, in her memories. So when you think of it that way, it's super dark, and why she would have to escape, and why she has to like find her safe place, and why she has these security blankets with the puppets and everything. Yeah, so it's such a poor, traumatized girl.
So I took it a different way. I mean, I accept yours, and I think it's interesting, but I took it as they were actual like demons who were after her, using the masks to hide their faces. And she says that she like escaped to limbo. So I think this is her telling us that she like lived in limbo for years and years, which is why it stunted her mental growth.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
I almost feel like yours makes sense and I want to like it, but I don't, because I don't want that to happen to my Ileana.
I know. Because you're coming from a comic book world, Laura, too, because like the comic book where she did grow up there. So like, yeah, I'm taking it into context of the movie itself. I don't know.
Yeah, well, in the movie, she said she used limbo as a place to escape to for years or something like that. That led me to believe that she was stuck there. Like she escaped there and got stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But why would she need to escape there? Because she was being abused
by Russian
and
men.
And if she's going to limbo, why do these things have Russian tattoos?
True.
Of men from Russian tattoos.
That's why I believe you, but I don't want to.
I know. It's super sad, and that's where you can really understand her plight, and In her office, Cecilia gets a message from her superior that Danny is dangerous. She says, Danny is too dangerous. Collect more samples and then terminate her. Gasp. And then she looks at it, she's like, oh, okay, I'll put in my code. And then we see that Cecilia is working for the Essex Corporation. Sound familiar? And did you see what was above the Essex Corporation?
What?
A little diamond shape.
Oh!
Which is also, if you look at what Cecilia, well, you see later, but Cecilia Reyes has a little diamond pin on her lab coat that matches it.
Interesting.
and it falls off when she's with the bear.
So do you think that's a hint that she was being controlled by Sinister?
Oh, I didn't think about that. I just thought that she was like working for him. But I don't know, maybe. I think it's just supposed to link them, her and Sinister, together.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think, because if it was on her head, I would think more of the control. But here, I think she was just part of the fold.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, next, Danny goes to check on Rain, who is still healing from her wounds from the Phantom Preacher. Rain invites Danny in. Danny tells Rain about what she saw in Cecilia's mind. Mutant kids being forced to use their powers in bad ways. Cecilia interrupts the chat to pull Danny away. Danny tells Rain that they will find a way out. The two kiss and Danny bounces. Rain tries to stay, but Cecilia won't let her. She wheels Danny away to a secluded location.
Yeah. In the common room, Ileana colors as Sam and Rain watch more Buffy. And it's the freaking parallel again with these, whatever those people that are very popular in Buffy. I don't know what they are. The gentleman.
Yeah, it's the gentleman. It's the episode Hush, and this is another plur. I feel like it was very purposeful because this is where Dr. Reyes is trying to take Danny's voice away, and the episode is about the gentleman stealing people's voices.
Right, and they are very similar to the smiley face men.
Yeah,
in a way. So, yeah, it's on purpose of the plurs.
Mm-hmm.
Sam notices something is up with Rain. Rain tells him that something is up with Reyes. The trio start to hear a song and go to investigate. This is like Castlevania, video game, Metal Gear Solid song. I don't know what this is. At the same time, Reyes starts her test on Danny. She sedates Danny. Ileana, Sam, and Rain follow the singing to Illy's room. Rain goes to help them. Illy and Sam watch as baby Illy forced to escape a smiley man who is trying to touch her above the covers. The smiley man starts to chase after Illy and Sam.
Interesting. As Danny lay inert, Cecilia tells Danny about a rabid dog that her mom had to put down to save it and the others in the town. Cecilia takes Danny's blood. Yeah, I told you she was a vet. Cecilia takes Danny's blood sample and puts it into a case, which I feel like we got this case in Apocalypse.
Yeah.
In the end.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, it was Logan's blood. He put it in a case that said Essex.
Yeah, see?
Rain hears Danny crying and begins to shift into her wolf form. Shift into turbo!
Woof. Woof, woof.
Shift into woofbo.
She's like, help me! Sam and Ileana begin to be chased by multiple smiley face men. One of the men starts to carry Ileana away, but Sam comes to her rescue. Meanwhile, Berto is washing dishes in the kitchen while listening to music. A monster grabs him, but he blasts it away. He's like, my eyes aglow. Get away from me, creeper. In the lab, Cecilia hears something in the vents. She's like, oh, what could that be? It's Rain! Rain slashes and gashes and attacks Celia and sends her running. It's brutal. It's great. She quickly frees Danny.
I missed a joke right here. I could have said Rain rains down upon Cecilia.
See? Yeah.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Dr. Reyes goes stumbling in the hall where she sees Ileana and Sam are being attacked. She runs the other way. Sam encourages Magic to use her power. She does, leaving Sam to fight the monsters on his own. Sam uses his power to escape. He comes across Berto. They find the force field has extended to lock them inside, or I guess gotten smaller. The two men are surrounded by smileys. Just then, Magic ports in and saves them both with her soul sword. So cool.
Oh,
she's
badassery.
So cool.
Badassery. Amazing.
We need her in the MCU. We need Anya Taylor-Joy to play her. Like, we need this in our lives.
Yeah. She's so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The 5 students gather in Ray's office. They start to go through their own files. Danny assumes the vision she had was of the Essex Corporation. Danny encourages the team to use their powers and work together to escape. They decided to attack Cecilia to stop her force field power and free themselves. Yeah, so this is where they find the power where they said, like, could be, a great asset to the program, and they want to be a trained killer. They read some of the stuff in those files, which is okay.
Yeah. Which I'm also like, you guys have had free reign of the school for a while. Now you're
What
just
took you
finally...
so long? Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's all just laying out there. Like, they didn't have to look too hard for it.
Yep.
The team begins to follow Cecilia's blood trail. Cecilia starts to speak to them over the intercom. She talks to them about responsibility. Their responsibility to stop her, and hers to stop them. The team finds Cecilia and asks her about Essex Corporation. Cecilia traps everyone in force fields. She tells them that without her, they would have been dead a long time ago. She offers to let everyone go as long as she can just kill Danny. Dr. Reyes reveals Danny's power to the team. Danny has been the source of their fears this whole time. Cecilia begins to suffocate Danny.
Oh. Yeah. She's like, just let me do it.
Just let me kill a bitch.
All right. The cameras all turn off as they register a perimeter breach. The demon bear suddenly makes its appearance. Qua. It locks Cecilia in its jaws and gnaws on her. We see the snow, too. The snow is another part of inkling of its coming. Chomp, 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 chomp. The team go to help Danny. She's stuck in a spirit world of her own making. The team realize that the spirit bear is hunting Danny, and they struggle to carry her limp body away from it. Magic tells the team to get Danny to safety as she distracts the demon bear. She forges her sword and armor and goes into a portal.
Oh, so cool.
What was the one? Is this where she goes like, he's like, they're magic. She's like, so am I.
Yeah.
So cool.
Well, and one thing that's kind of cool that I just put together, I don't know how much Bo may have been inspired by this, but the fact that Danny, that Morph turns into, sorry, I'm just spouting names. Morph turns into magic in a church in Extra 97, and we see her fighting in a chapel here. Like,
Yeah.
it does kind of invoke that same thought.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Ileana and a now very much alive Lockheed step outside to fight the bear. Ileana holds the bear at bay as the other students take Danny to the chapel. Gonna get married. Sam decides to go help Ileana with the bear. Rain and Birdo decide to hide. Rain keeps desperately reminding herself that demons can't come into churches, right? Right? They can't, right? Just then, the demon comes into the church. It attacks Rain and Danny in the confessional. As the bear has Rain and Sam on the ropes, in comes Ileana to save the day.
Yeah. As Illy distracts the bear, Rain pleads with Danny to wake up. Ileana is sent flying through one of her portals to the outside of the chapel. Sam encourages Birdo to flame on. It's like, nut up, bro. He holds his own against the bear by throwing pews at it.
Pew pew. No, not those pews, actual pews.
Yeah, actual pews.
In Danny's mind, Rain's wolf form leads Danny to help find an escape. Danny is ready to give up as her friends fight for their lives. Rain wolfs out and attacks the bear. Ileana pops in and ports everyone to safety. Just then, Danny's dad visits Danny in the spirit world. He tells her he forgives her and she needs to fight. Danny returns to her body just in time to help her friends. She orders the bear to stop and tames it before forcing it to dissipate. Birdo is naked.
No, we love that. We love that. But this is also the Moana moment. She's like, I have crossed the horizon to find you. This is not who you are.
Get it, Moana?
Yeah, go. Too funny. All right. 36. The team come together to salvage what belongings they can from the wreckage. Berto is no longer naked, and he picks up the bloody foot of Dr. Reyes.
Ew.
Like, ew, it was so gross. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't. I didn't see it was her foot.
Yeah, it was like her shoe and like blood was pouring out of it.
Ew.
It's gross. Yeah.
Roberto's now wearing these like really tight red pants, and like he's got a nice junk line.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. So sexy.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I love it. Berto is no longer naked, but he's got sexy junk line. And the team thank Danny for saving them from this horrible place. Sam finds that the dome is gone. The team decide to go out to search for the closest town, which is apparently 20 miles away.
Which again, we have two people who can fly, one person who can teleport, one person who can turn into a wolf, and then Danny. So I think you have pretty good odds of getting there pretty quick if you just use your powers.
I mean, just grab on, be like Paige and orb everybody, teleport everybody.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this before we talk about how we like this movie. So one of the biggest differences is in the comics, the demon bear is an actual entity. It's not part of Danny's psyche. So it's actually a corrupted entity, and it's actually made up of Danny's parents, William and Peg Lone Star. So it like took their souls and it corrupted them and became the demon bear.
Demon bear.
Yeah. Magic is the one that defeats it in the comics with her soul sword, but that just kind of frees Danny's parents and stops the bear momentarily. It keeps coming back later. It even possesses Bishop at one point, and it was defeated by Psylocke to save Bishop. So get it, Psylocke? In October 2017, Boone did reveal that he had plans for a trilogy. So in the second movie, he wanted each of the movies to kind of be their own type of horror genre. So the second one would have been an alien invasion, which would have introduced Warlock. He actually approached Sacha Baron Cohen. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say earlier. I'm like, I'm going to save that for the end.
Yeah. And we would have seen Karma in it as a villain. Karma can possess other people's bodies, basically.
And she was one of the original mutants that was not in this, so it's cool that they were going to have her come in. Yeah.
Exactly. She was one of the ones I was going to name who was in the graphic novel, but I didn't because I want to talk about her later. So they would have joined the New Mutants by the end. Also, the New Mutants would have gone to Brazil, where they would have met Berto's dad, Emmanuel da Costa, and he was actually tied to the Hellfire Club. So we would have seen more about the Hellfire Club. And the third film, oh my God, I'm coming all over the place. It would have been Inferno.
Yeah.
I wonder if we would have got Madeline in that.
Yeah, probably. And you know, a Goblin Queen, Nightmares, like she fits right into the horror genre. So
yeah.
And then
you need her in
ties to
Inferno,
Sinister, which he's got going on. So it would have been really cool.
Yeah, this was on the right track.
I want to talk about the after credit scenes that were contemplated. There's two after credit scenes, which you did touch upon one. One after credit scene. I mean, some of these were rumors. I don't know, but they were gonna introduce Mr. Sinister, and it was gonna be John Hamm playing him.
Yep.
And then the other one was about Antonio Banderas would play Sunspot Dad and would set him up as a villain for the sequel.
Interesting.
That was the other end credit scene that they were gonna do, but then they didn't.
Yeah, and I just read the other day, John Hamm is still like, I still want to be Mr. Sinister, Marvel. Let me do it. I still want to do it. Which
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm for it. Like, he would make an amazing Mr.
He would pull it
Sinister.
off. Yeah.
Because I feel like Mr. Sinister should be like dark but sexy at the same time.
Right.
And like John Hamm could do that.
He's got the great like angular face that feels very sinister to me. Like, so yeah.
Okay, cool. So thanks for that. So tell me how you like the movie and then rate it. Britishly bitchin' like Emma, pretty cool like Iceman. Australian Wolverine, you kind of love it but kind of hate it. Fat and sweaty like Jubilee, or unspeakable like X-Men Origins Deadpool.
I enjoy this movie a lot. I was definitely in it. I was never bored with it. I was following it all the way through. I liked that it was kind of, a small cast. I thought it was a very good ensemble cast. I thought they all played their parts really well. I suppose it could be could have been bigger in a lot of ways, but I think they did a lot of great stuff with it. So I'm gonna give this a pretty cool, like Iceman.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think the most genius part about this movie is setting it against a like horror backdrop because they do have very horrific powers. Like Danny can make you see your fears. Sunspot kills people with flame. Like magic is literally like tied to limbo. Like this was smart to do it this way. I like that they did the kind of swap with it's not Xavier's, it's Essex. My biggest complaint, I mean, I talked about some of my small gripes about Rain and Danny and their relationship, which I like more than I don't. Sam not being invulnerable, which is kind of neither here nor there. My biggest thing, though, is I don't like that it's Cecilia Reyes. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
Because
she's supposed to be a good character. Yeah.
She's a good person and she's a pacifist. So, like, this isn't her character at all.
That was like the one like big fuck up of this movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I
why?
would have, actually, speaking of last week's movie, I would have maybe put Selene because Selene has psychic powers. She's more powerful than any of the mutants there. She's tied to the Hellfire Club already. Mm-hmm. Why not put an actual villain?
And she's a psychic vampire who feeds on that kind of,
even better
gaslighting of children and students. She would totally love this whole like fear thing. She would revel in she may not understand why that fear thing is happening at first, but she would like, okay, Danny, keep using your power. I got some source of energy for myself now too, So
that's true. And she could literally shut down people's powers. So if magic was to try to escape, she'd just be like, nope.
Mm-hmm. See, imagine if people like us were making these movies, how much better they would be. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They would actually make sense to the fans, not just be like, this person has cool powers. Let's put them in.
But then again, it's a lot. Half of the battle with these movies too is fighting the studios who are like, no, do this. And like, no, we don't. This doesn't make sense. But then we have to they're giving us the money. So you have to concede. And so I can imagine how annoying that is for filmmakers.
Yeah. I don't think that the execs understand the properties they oversee. They don't understand any small change you make in these movies. Us fans, we've lived our whole lives by this. This is our Bible. Yeah, we're gonna notice.
Mm-hmm. There are liberties you can take, and there are liberties that you can't take, and you have to know the difference.
Yeah. For example, Danny and Rain, that liberty adds to the story. So that's why it's a little more acceptable. It has its roots in the comics they kind of say they're together without saying they're together. It makes sense. Cecilia Reyes, there's no sense to be made there.
No. Yeah.
All right. Who would you say is the MXP?
You didn't rate it.
I said, I didn't. I would say Wolverine. You kind of love it, but kind of hate it. I put this one on par with the first X-Men movie because I think they both have a solid story and are entertaining. They both suffer in different ways. I think this one would have jump-started. I think the next two movies would have been great. I think the next one would have been X2 status. I think the third one would be really good too. So I'm kind of sad these didn't move on.
I know. It would have been cool to see what would have come from them.
Yeah. Who is the MXP, our most excellent player?
This was so hard for me in a lot of ways, just because I thought everyone did a really good job, and they all made a statement. They all were memorable. They all felt like they were doing something and contributing. I was torn between two characters for this one. I thought about Danny because she's, the catalyst for everything, and the way they were all freed, even though apparently they could have freed themselves anytime they wanted. But this, having her come there, got everything all crazy and changed the status quo. But I'm actually going to give it to Magic because she was perfectly cast, perfectly played, perfectly showcased with the powers, and such a way of her growth of the character and seeing where she is, and that subtleness of being bitchy but also innocent, and having the humanity there. So I'm giving it to her because she's just epic and badass the entire way through.
Yeah. I was close to giving it to her. I eventually landed on Rain.
Okay.
Or some people say Rane, because Rain, I feel like she's the one who stopped Danny from killing herself. When they found out that Danny was the one with the power that was causing these nightmares, she was the only one to go to Danny and say, like, I'm not afraid of you. So she was there next to Danny's side the whole time. I feel like she is the catalyst to like why Danny wants to be alive and why Danny wants to be good. So we all kind of need that person in our life. So I liked her role.
They have that callback like, we should live a little longer. Looks like we're gonna live a little longer or whatever together or whatever, something like that. It's very nice.
It is. But you're right. I feel like especially the three girls, Danny, Magic, and Rain, they all have such strong roles in this, even more so than the guys. Like the guys are kind of like second, and I'm fine with that. I like seeing like a female strong cast.
Yeah.
What would you say is the X factor?
Okay. So this is common, fear and trauma will always be a part of you, but don't run from it. Now, this is the part where I could get into the cliche and say, oh, confront your fears and la, 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 which is true. But I'm going to take it a step further and say that you do that, feel that pain, feel that trauma, and know that it hurts because you love, because you care about others, because you care about yourself. And with that, you can take pride in that you are living with something to fight for. You have value still, and you love people with value, and people love you. And so even though it hurts, it's still confirmation that you are existing and are, fighting this good fight every day of your life. So.
Wow. You have a really sweet message, and I'm about to be a fanboy because my X Factor was Magic. Magic's in it. Magic's so cool in it. They did such a good job with Magic. They showcased Magic so well. I love Magic. She was so good.
Oh, good. So our
thank you for grounding us in an actual. Yeah, that was kind of the only reason I didn't choose her for MXP, because I was like, she's going to be my X Factor. So thank you for grounding us in an actual message so I could fanboy all over the place.
Good. You're welcome.
All right. So previously on, I want to know what you all think, Sexy Xies. Do you like Danny and Rain as a couple?
I do. I think that they did a really great job of building their relationship here. Just even like the small things, like giving her a tour and just, looking out for her, and just being like a friend first and foremost, and then, having those romantic feelings kind of branch out from that. Yeah, I mean, maybe I would have liked to have like an extra day with them together or something, but I think they're set up really well, and I like them. And I think they do really well, at least in the context of this movie,
I actually think it was done so well in the movie. I kind of wish they would bring it into the comics, because it would make sense, because she is very homophobic in the comics, which a lot of times when you're that homophobic, it's because you're hiding something. But also, she's kind of like Iceman in the way, like, she dated Richter, who, I mean, Richter is now queer. She dated Hrimhari, who's like a wolf god. And like, there's no chance of that working because he's from a different dimension. So she's almost like always going with guys that like she subconsciously can't have. So it would make sense. They could do it. I want someone to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and she was with Cypher for a while, but then he got killed. So yeah, that one didn't work out. Next up, next week, we are starting X-Men Evolution. Kevin, you finally get to make me watch your show.
This is going to be fun. I have random memories. Like, I don't remember everything, but I have like certain ones that just stick out like crazy that I remember. So it's going to be fun. But Cyclops in X-Men Evolution is everything. Just saying, he's going to be my bae. He always is. But, you know, especially in X-Men Evolution, he's good.
And Iceman's in it. Iceman.
Yeah. I don't remember him in it, but he's in it. I know he's in it more. I don't remember. I know he's in it, but I don't remember him as much. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Wow. All right, cool. So join us for that. So again, I've never finished X-Men Evolution. I watched it to a certain point. I've gone back a few times to start it over and I never got very far. So I'm excited to like finally watch it all the way through and learn what I can from you who has watched it all, who knows more about it than me. So the tables are turning.
Yes, except we'll see.
We'll see. So cool. Join us next week for that. In the meantime, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can follow my personal Instagram, KJEEZY87. All the fun stuff is there. Or you can follow the other podcast that we do, Words of the Witches, and that's all the places. Yeah, we're doing witchy charmed book right now, like Wicca-y, magic-y stuff.
Yeah. Find me on that podcast with Kevin, but also on Shawn Perrette on Instagram or TikTok. And that'll give you the link tree. Sorry, I'm very burpy all of a sudden. That'll give you the link tree to all my other projects, past podcasts, writings, art, all that fun stuff. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you later, sexy X's.
X-E.
X-E.
Oh, X-E-X. Oh my God.
Perfect.